Coming out of high school, I had no desire to go to college. I want to go straight into the workforce, but I had no idea what I want to do in the workforce. So I joined the military in hopes to become a military police officer. During my training, I learned what it took to become a military police officer and found out I had a huge interest in law enforcement. After I graduated from basic and AIT, I knew to get in law enforcement, I needed more than a high school education. So I figured I would give college a shot in hopes to learn about the justice system and law enforcement on the civilian side. I decided to attend IUPUI or any university, Purdue University, where on orientation day, I was welcomed with open arms and staff ready to help in any way they could. The visit was very surprising to me. It was very organized like I was used to in the military, and I knew IUPUI was for me. I was even more excited to be part of SPEA, or School of Public and Environmental Affairs. On my first day of class, my first TLC, or Theme Learning Community class, was called Criminal Justice System. One thing I learned, and perhaps the biggest takeaway from the class, was implicit bias, which is the unconscious bias or belief that uses stereotypes that impact our understandings and our behavior towards other people. Implicit bias can be born at a young age due to a person's surroundings and influences during their childhood. I feel like learning implicit bias will benefit me in the future and in my future career. Another big thing I took away was a lecture about the difference between the criminal justice system and the juvenile justice system. Of course, the main difference being age, but the one that stuck out to me the most was the difference of laws surrounding each system. Juveniles don't have the same rights as adults. Juveniles do not have the right to bail or trial by a jury, unlike adults who have those rights. But juveniles do not face serious punishments like adults do. In my second TLC class, Survey of Culture of Black Americans, it helped me see the point of view of African Americans and what they had to deal with. It helped me see that race was an invention that rendered non-white people not less than human and how it greatly affected America. Also, I learned about two influential men named Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois. They both shared the same goal but had different ways of getting there. Washington wanted to stay in the South and work their way by learning trade, starting a business, and owning property, while Du Bois wanted to start from the top with a small group called the Talented Tenth and teach other African Americans at higher education like to read and write. In my third TLC class, Current Topics and Public Affairs, I learned valuable information like career development, how to properly put together a resume, and having the right interview skills. Alongside my freshman public speaking course, this class helped improve my public speaking skills by a lot. Also, I was given an opportunity to sit and talk with parole agents and learn what they do and the restrictions parolees must follow. A parolee must have written permission to do everyday things like travel or even get a license to drive. You even must work while under the agent's supervision at a place of work. A big thing this course offered me was Public Safety Day, where I got to talk to tons of law enforcement agencies, whether it be federal, state, or local, about ride-alongs and jobs. It was a huge motivation boost seeing the career field you strive to be in and be able to talk to them. My TLC classes pushed me and motivated me to pursue my career in law enforcement and become a police officer. This color of crime TLC will greatly benefit me in the future due to the information I was taught and the skills I picked up like public speaking and writing. Thanks to this TLC, I was able to create bonds with other people who share the same interests as me and one day become a police officer in the future.